Good morning, students. We are learning lesson number 11, which is India Transform Part 1. Now, for this lesson, two parts. This lesson is divided into two parts, 11th and 12th lesson, India Transformed Part 1 and India Transform Part 2. Yesterday we started with 11th lesson, and in that we are discussing about the changes which has been done after 1990. If we check, so before 1990 the India was totally different, and after 1990 the India was totally changed. So this transformation, how it happened and what government has been done for India, different yojana, different organization, different agreement, we are going to learn in this lesson. In this lesson we are going to learn the transformation in various fields like rural development plans, then urban development plans, means of communications, economic issues, defense area, science and technology, agriculture sector, youth related policies, some acts like 2005 Act, and reorganization of state. Now let me tell you student that nothing is omitted from this lesson. Okay, so each and every line it is there in your syllabus of this lesson. The part is not omitted from this lesson. The whole lesson it is there as it is. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about the globalization. Now after Second World War, the many countries they adopted the policy of imposing various taxes on imported goods, and that's why what happened, it resulted in decline of trade, and that's why the globe wanted some solution on that, and from that it was decided to establish a permanent organization which will solve this problem, and from that GATT introduced. After that, WTO, World Trade Organization, it took over GATT. Already we discussed this in the last lecture. After that we talk about the transformation in various fields, rural development plans, because most of the population is living in rural area, so to pay attention to this area it was very important according to government, and that's why they paid their attention over there. They made with different yojanas for the people, providing employment. That was the main motive of this yojana. From that Pradhan Mantri Yojana, Rozgar Yojana we discuss, as well as Suvarna Jayanti Gramin Swayam Rozgar Yojana we discuss. Now we'll continue with our lesson. So we are on page number 90, and we are going to continue with the next yojana which was introduced by the government. Okay, so next yojana is Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana. Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana, which is also known as JGSY. Now this program was implemented by Gram Panchayat, and work which result in creation of durable productive community assets are taken up. So one more time, providing employment, this was the main motive of this yojana. In 1999 this plan was implemented with the intention to provide adequate employment for the unemployed men as well as women. In 2001 it was merged in a plan which was known as Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. So this plan it was merged in a plan which was known as Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. This is another plan which was introduced by government, which was launched in September 2001. Now what was the aim of this yojana? The aim was to provide employment in rural areas along with food security and creation of durable community, social and economic assessed. So this plan, it was launched by merging together Rozgar Ashwasan Yojana and Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana. Now government, they merged these two plans and they made this plan provisions for creating opportunities in rural areas of earning wages to provide food grains in exchange of work. Okay, now in August 2005, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act was passed, implemented on the cost sharing ratio of 75 into 25 between the center and state. Most of the people from the village area, they engaged in agriculture, we know that, but every day they don't get their wages. So this was the yojana for the people, that at least they should earn their daily wages, some amount they should earn on everyday basis, so they can feed their family. So that was the main motive of the government. Now for this, government tried to give different types of yojana to the people, because the people, they are unemployed, they are uneducated, at least they should earn some amount of money. That was the intention behind all this Rozgar Yojana. Now in 2004, the scheme of giving food grains in exchange of work was started in 150 districts in the country which were economically most backward. So the part which is backward, where the people, they are don't get any type of the work, so the government, what they had done, if the people are there, they are going to do some work for the government, for the village, so that time they will get food grains in exchange of that. Means they are not going to get money, but at least they will get some food in the exchange of that work. So measures like water conservation, development of agricultural lands were given priority to overcome situation of famine. Mostly farmers, they have to face the problems, natural calamities, they always they have to face, like famine is there, so they should get some water conservation, they should develop their methods in the agriculture field. This priority, it was given in the village area by the government. In 2006, this scheme was again merged in Rashtriya Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana. Now what is Rashtriya Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana? The government of India launched this scheme on a national level to eradicate the economy disparity, poverty, starvation. Starvation means hunger, less food, when the people, they don't get enough food, that is starvation, and unemployment in rural area. Now under this yojana, government tried to make people on equal level, on an economical basis, as well as each and every person should get employment, as well as poverty should not be there in the backward area of India. And for that sake, government has had introduced this yojana in village area. This yojana is known as Rashtriya Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana, where people, they get employment. Each family in rural areas was given assurance of at least 100 days work. So throughout year, the person from each family will get at least 100 days work for their survival. This assurance, it was given by this yojana. Till 2008, this scheme was started in 350 districts. So this scheme, it is working near about in 350 district. Okay, now next is agriculture and livestock. This is the main field where government has to pay attention, because most of the population of India is engaged in agriculture, we know that, and organic farming, that is very important. Okay, so agriculture and livestock, Here we are going to talk about the organic farming as well as the livestock, means the things which are related with the agriculture. So when the person is engaged in agriculture, so the person can do fishing as well as animal husbandry, then the mining and more occupations which are related to the farming. Okay, so they will get more money from that. So the government has paid more attention towards this sector. So when the nation it was transforming, the agriculture sector was also getting transformed. According to 2011, the census, 54% of the total population is India in engaged in agriculture and agro-related sector. So, what actually government is doing in this sector? The organic farming, more important, it is given to the organic farming. Now, what is organic farming? Organic term, it's reflect something very close to the nature, means where we don't use pesticides to get more products, and traditional methods we use, traditional seeds we use. It is very ethics methods to grow the crops, right? It involves the principle that generates produce of the high quality. Here in organic farming we get high quality food which is good for our health, as well as it is very beneficial for everyone. And it is very coherent with the environment in a particular manner. So the soil health card scheme, it was introduced under this agriculture and livestock yojana, where the government tried to improve the quality of soil, fertility of soil. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchan Yojana invest is for giving the priority to adequate water supply. Now we know that in village area, the villagers, the farmers, they have to face this problem because the adequate water is not available everywhere. So irrigation facilities they also use, for that they need more money. So here government try to help financially also to these farmers, where they can grow their crops without any obstacle. So the irrigation facility, it is also available on a larger scale. Krishi Vikas Yojana aims at organic cultivation and increase in the farmers' income. As I told you, that organic livestock farming. Here in this type of the farming, animal nutrition, organically grown, it is a good quality of food as well as species specific diets. Animal health, here the attention is paid to animal health. Good management is given, prevention for the animals. Animal housing and breeding is also done in the organic livestock farming. Now there are some principles of organic livestock farming, that it is land based activity. We need sufficient land for the organic farming. Good animal health and welfare, we have to take care about animal, their health. Optimization rather than maximization of production. Here the farmers, they don't try to get more and more production. Instead of that, less amount of production, but it is very healthy and good for human beings. So limited production they get without using pesticides. Lower stocking densities. Now Pradhan Mantri Bima Yojana is implemented for the economic welfare of the farmer, where the farmers they get loan under this yojana. More attention it is paid on animal husbandry, dairy, fisheries, agriculture research and the education, because I already told you that all these occupations are related to the farming. So beside farming, the farmers they can do animal husbandry, fishing, dairy and the agriculture research. From that they can earn more money for their survival. Agriculture cooperative establishments and farmer welfare are the three main themes of the development of the program. Now in 2007, a national policy for farmers was adopted. It was gradually the result of all the programs implemented for the agriculture sectors are becoming apparent. If there is a crop failure because of the things like natural problems like calamities, pesticides, epidemics, adverse climates, etc., the farmers get compensated through the insurance scheme. And this insurance scheme is known as Pradhan Mantri Peak Vima Yojana. Students, we know that because the farmers they work hard throughout the year, and sometimes what happened at the time of their when harvesting, farmers they have to face a problem like natural calamities can be there, means there can be famine, there can be climate changes, there can be ill effects of pesticides, epidemics. So that time their whole crops get destroyed, and because of that so many farmers they commit suicide. Okay, so for that sake, Pradhan Mantri Peak Vima Yojana, where they get Vima means insurance compensation they get by the government. If suppose they face this type of the calamities, and if they lost their crops, so that time from the government they get compensation, they get Vima for their products. Research institutes of agriculture science are supported through the Indian Council for Agriculture Research. Now agriculture exhibitions are also organized for the farmers, where they get knowledge about pesticides, about good seed, latest technology, new agriculture experiment, new technology, new research, seeds, new breeds of cattle. So these exhibitions are also organized by government for the farmers sake in the agriculture field. Research programs on goat were conducted on pan-Indian level. Goat keeping is also known as Shei Palan, is encouraged as an occupation for enhancing the life standard of tribal people, because the tribal people they do this thing that they beside the farming they keep goats. From that they get some amount at least. So for that tribal people also the government has paid attention. It has largely become their principal source of livelihood. In rural areas, poultry farming of indigenous variety was encouraged. So in short, we can say that India is making significant progress in agriculture field of animal husbandry, dairy, fishing, milk productions, livestock, poultry, meat and wool production. India is leading country in milk production. The National Livestock Mission was established in 2014-15. Since then, there is a rapid growth in the livestock sector. Now, what we get from the organic farming? Food safety is there, because that is the organic farming, so pesticides are not used. That is good for the public health. Poison, chemical, residue free produce, chemicals are not used at all. Less antibiotic resistance bacteria, better taste we get of the food, and longer shelf life, and that's why the government has paid attention for the organic farming. Student, you know that China ranks first in the fish production, while India ranks second highest in the fish production. Fishing has been an important occupation in India, which is now supplemented with the fish farming. This sector is growing rapidly in India. Okay, now we are going to move towards the next point, which is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Okay, now so we have seen that government has paid attention towards agriculture, because when India always India it is related to the agriculture. Most of the people they are engaged in agriculture activities. Okay, but what about the roads which are connected to the urban and the rural area. So to pay attention to this, roads are also very important, and that's why Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, this yojana, it was introduced in 2000. Okay, the government of India, it introduced this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana in 2000. Initially, the work of the building roads began by linking the villages population strength of 1000. So what is the work of this yojana? To connect urban area to the rural area, because when the product is ready, the farmers, they sell that products in urban area. Okay, so road should be good, then only they could do trading with the urban area, and that's why the roads of measuring about 75,000 kilometers. In 2001, this program was merged in Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Now, the roads measuring about 75,000 kilometers were completed till 2005. The purpose of this work was to extend the benefits of country's economic growth to the people living in rural areas and to bring the transformation in their lives. Now already the roads are good in city, in the urban area, right? Because that is the developed part, the people gets employment over there, and that's why the that's why everything it is in a good condition. Hospitals, roads, theaters are available, malls are there, market is available. But what about rural area, right? So the rural people, they also should get good roads for the transportation when they want to sell their products in urban area, and that's why this yojana was introduced by the government. It aimed at providing amenities like good health, education, drinking water, dwelling roads and electricity. So only the agriculture is not the aim, but to provide good health to the people who live in village area, to provide them different facilities like medical facilities, then the dwellings, water supply they should get, electricity supply they should get. That is the aim of this yojana. Okay, now we are going to move towards the next point, which is our 11.2 urban development plans. Now student, till this moment we talk about the government, the things which has been done by government for village area. Now what about urban area, right? For urban area also government has done some yojana that we are going to discuss. Now first yojana which was done by government in 2005, that is JURM, JNNURM. The full form of this organization is Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. This is little bit big. The most ambitious urban program in the history of India. You must have heard about this organization. This program, it was launched in 2005. The mission is for massive modernization of the cities through modification in the road, building, public transport, water, wastewater disposal and management system. JURM is a Government of India initiative aiming at encouraging reforms and fast-track plan development in identified cities. So this plan, it was done for the sewage waste, for the public transport, for road buildings, for wastewater disposal and for the management system. The focus is on efficiency in the urban infrastructure and service delivery mechanism, community participations and accountability agencies towards citizens. So this program is working in 63 cities. Now what are the objective of this program? Ensure the adequate funds to fulfill the deficiency, plan development of cities, provisions of service for the urban poor area, redevelopment of old cities, secure effective linkage between the assets creation and assets management, integrated development of infrastructure and services. So to create good roads, buildings, transportation, and to provide the different type of the facilities, that is the objective of JOM. Okay students, so today we are going to stop here. We'll revise one time what we learned today. Okay, so we learned today about some yojana which was introduced by government in village area, that is Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana, Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana, Agriculture and Livestock, Rashtriya Gramin Rozgar Hami Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, and then we move towards the urban development plans, and from that only first point we learn, that is JURM, JNNURM, Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, which was introduced in 2005 by government to provide good public transport, for disposal and waste management system, for waste water disposal, for sewage disposal system, and for housing for the poor. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to continue with the urban development plans in India. Thank you and have a nice day.